Hello everyone, we're ready and we're live. I didn't give them a countdown so you could hear all that's going on. But here we are,
Yeah.
we're back again, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
yeah,
Let's
we
do
are.
it. Let's hop in because we're nice and 15 minutes late. So recap it, y'all. Do it. Do that recap.
We
What
spoke
happened?
Tommy
with
this time.
Hamlet.
That's right, we spoke with Hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
And I yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna speak as him in here. I may have told Hamlet that I want to injure his doctor.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
real weird.
Yeah, we he said be honest with us, and I have reasons to think that if we tried to lie to him, he would not only know immediately, but probably find someone unnecessary. And the last time he ever said someone was unnecessary, well, uh, Ginger, not Ginger,
No,
Gilly.
Gilly.
Yeah, Gilly. But yeah, that's when that happened. And not that your characters will know this outside of the recap. Yeah. We were honest with him about why we wanted to find him. We even told him about Haribo having a reason. And Miles was like, I'm not gonna lie, until now I had no idea why we were doing this. And Winslow was silent, going,
Mm-hmm.
possibly thinking about swinging his great axe at things. And at first he was like, you just told me you wanted to hurt my doctor, and I had to say, oh no, hold up, hold up, hold up. More questions are needed than punchy, so we're gonna be nice. And Hamlet said, okay, I totally believe you, not really, but I'm gonna send you out and bring him back in one piece, or else. And we we were like, okay, we got this. We can totally do this. And I can't remember if this was the last session or the session beforehand, but I'm pretty sure I paid off my debt to Miles by playing blackjack with Bucky, or was that the time before that?
I think that was the time before last.
Okay, so that also means that I got rejected 2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't remember much after the whole,
I think that was
getting.
I think that was the end of the session.
Yeah, it might have been. I can't remember the beginning. I just remember like doing my best to not do what I did with what's her name again?
Hmm. Who?
Mina?
The lady that
Mina.
Mina. Yeah, Mina. She was there too, I think. I don't know, I was really focused on the scary guy at the center of the room, you know?
She came in with us and then she left.
What?
She came in with us, walked us in through the gate, past the soldiers, and then she kind of like exited stage left while we stayed at stage center.
True. Also pretty sure we ran into your little guy at some point, and I may have made an oopsie because I think I accidentally told Hamlet that his brother is afraid of Mina. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing yet. Because he had a reaction, and I was like, oh no. Oh, anyone else want to pick up? Since I somehow always start at the end whenever I recap.
I think you got. I don't know that we did too much like plot relevant stuff at the beginning. I think we just kind of.
We were trying to figure out a plan of
Yes.
what to do with Hamlet, pretty much. When we met him.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Didn't you? We finally like figure out what Haribo's note was.
I think
Or
so.
was that 2 sessions ago?
No,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
that was
we-
last session, because Herbo was not there to tell us about it.
So Haribo, who was asleep after he gave us the letter, somehow just handed the letter and passed out. We I don't exactly remember what was in it, but we did hear from Martha that like I think a little bit had to change or something because
said
the note was taken.
Play into his hand. Was what
Yeah,
she told you?
just
Yes.
oh, that's right. That's why I was super honest with him. Aside from the fact that there's fear, it's the play into his hands just kind of made me feel like. I asked Martha if it meant more play into his hand and things will go our way, or we're already played into his hand. And she said the first one. So I figured if we lied, we wouldn't be playing into his hand. And also, death is always around him if he figures out you're not useful. So yeah, then we did plan on how we were going to do things. And even though I think we decided I wasn't going to do any talking, I ended up doing a lot of the talking.
That sounds about right.
Towards the end, after we met Hamlet, we found out that Solomon, I think it was Solomon, was an Asmar, and then that Clara was his daughter.
Oh yeah,
Oh
those were,
yeah,
those are the
That
critically important things.
that makes perfect sense. The douchebag has a bitch for a daughter.
Now, she's
I'm
just
tiefling. I apologize for nothing.
yeah. He's an Aasimar, which I believe is the angel race, and he has a daughter who is like aligned with the demon, and you're the demon.
Oh
No, she's aligned with a devil, not a demon, and you're
yeah,
like a demon,
and I'm
but not like a
I'm a
demon.
demon. Yeah, I'm not like a demon. I'm like a half demon thing. Also, oh blessed wood, I must ask a question. Do Asmars in this world are they born from eggs? I must know.
I don't think they canonically are, so.
I
Are they
was
canonically?
wondering if you would change it in this world. Like,
No.
they just drop from the sky an egg full.
Could you
Given to the world by the blessed one.
Nah. I like to assume their heads are egg-shaped when they come out.
Did
then
Miles
they
do anything?
What demon did Miles do anything?
Yeah, Miles, did you do anything during the session last time that we weren't privy to?
No, I was with you the whole time, per usual.
Miles was a good little boy.
Did you
Per
just
usual.
say per usual?
Per usual.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Miles was a sweetheart the whole last session.
True.
So
Actually, he was pretty well behaved. Now that I think about it,
yeah.
Did he even insult Winslow once?
He
Probably.
insulted you a bunch.
You know, that's like if me and you are in the same room and we're not insulting each other. I think that means something's wrong.
Fair enough.
So, as you all have, excuse me, nicely said, you then start to leave. You were handed a map at the end of where Solomon may or may not be, because what you guys also gleaned from this meeting that we somehow missed, Solomon went kind of missing, MIA, possibly around the same time y'all showed up. And Hamlet's like, go get him for me, but do not harm him. And he kind of gave you a lead to a nice little catacomb outside of town. But you all were getting ready to leave his palace and head back out. And that is where we ended last session.
Such a whole.
I don't remember if he said do not harm him or do not kill him.
He said
Do not-
harm.
Fool.
Yeah.
We can't kill him, Miles. He will literally kill us back.
Oh yeah, but if we don't harm him, maybe he'll harm us back anyway.
True. By the way, this guy is like fucking, duped us all once. We should probably plan
Oh
for
wow.
him doing that again.
Oh wow, what an idea. What a bold, innovative, never before discussed idea.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could go the sarcastic, pouty route, or you could be productive and help me figure out what
All
we
right,
should
here's
do
a
if we run
plan.
into him again.
We'll throw Ziminyar at him and then run away. Use Ziminyar as bait. This is all original. I'm coming up with this on the spot, not discussed previously like one session ago at all.
As much as I want to call you an asshole, it's kind of a thing that's worked in the past at this point. Seriously. I've been like
We
the
literally
spongiest
discussed.
thing.
We literally discussed
And I
this
have-
yesterday, Ziminyar.
I know. So, do we have any better ideas? Ideas that could lead us to possibly still bringing him back instead of running away from him?
Did not Hamlet give us like a lead on some anti-sleep drug that might help us to resist some the effects he previously put us under?
He did, but I kind of mean other things too. We kind of did something about it with the dragon until but we gotta take a formation or something, my guy.
All right. Well, Winslow in front seems to have worked for us.
Yep. And even though I like to do a lot of close range battle, I am a mage, so probably should stick mid to back.
That would be sensible.
And where would you be? You're kind of an all-arounder.
No, I'm also not an all-arounder. I'm also the backline type.
So 2 long range and
So now I'll have to do most of the work again.
Well, no, just you just have to provide cover.
Draw attention. When Haribo wakes up on his nap, we'll ask him what kind of battle taxes he would be best for. He's a druid, so I hope he knows some healing stuff.
He doesn't really battle. I don't know if you paid attention that last fight when you were unconscious, but he summoned up a flower and was trying to get it to. I'm not entirely sure what the goal was, but it didn't work very well. But don't tell him I said that. The poor
Did that
boy.
really happen? Oh my god! I thought
The poor boy tried his best. At least he didn't pass out on us.
I was just about to say, I can't really say anything, can I? I may have actually done attacks, but I still passed out.
He had ideas about the battle that did not come to fruition.
So wait, didn't he beat Winslow?
What?
So Miniar just looks at Winslow in the Coliseum. Remember, I had to fight Miles, and you had to fight Haribo, didn't you?
I remember fighting Haribo, but I don't remember losing.
But you had to have lost because Haribo totally fought Miles as a chicken. Or was it a bear? Or did he? I can't remember if he fought him as a bear.
The cockatrice!
Yes, a chicken. A chicken with stone powers.
I also remember fighting him as a bear. Maybe if you were less pacifistic with our actual enemies, and more pacifistic with me.
I think I know a way to get him to fight now. We just have to tell him to think of you as the enemies, but not actually attack you. He's very innocent, and I feel like if we don't make that distinction, he'll attack you as well. I don't really know how taking the shape of a bear works. Do you think he gets his bear mind and he wants to bear eat you?
Moving on.
Yes, I guess we should get going.
Yep.
To
The
wherever we
catacombs.
gotta get the sleeping stuff. Yeah.
You guys going straight there? You don't want to do any pre-game shopping? Take care of anything before you go?
Yeah, the shopping. Let's pre-game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let's
as
do
you
it.
all are leaving and like heading through the most beautiful courtyard here, as everything else looks desolate. Can you all roll a perception check for me?
I could, but
Would highly recommend doing so.
hell yeah.
We're getting to it.
Nice. Winslow.
It's loading.
Okay. I was just like, is Winslow not looking? Like he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't care what's around me.
Winslow's one thing, his battle axe and how to
Battle.
swing it. I should have said two things,
I raised my battle axe.
and then I lowered it because I only know one thing.
Whack. Whack. Though,
Winslow, turn it to the side.
which
It's with the handle.
swoosh. Swoosh. Though, I will say again, the Ranking of Kings is just the Harbo anime. It's so good. It's so good. I need to finish it.
Oh, there's a cat. Sorry. Oh, man.
I rolled 20s being goofy again.
I recommend refreshing.
Yeah, hit that
I believe
refresh.
she did.
I love how our DM is now just Wade from another story. That's way more in the future. Or futuristic setting.
Yeah. I love
Isn't it
Wade.
like Magic meets future?
The campaign's more like space themed.
Oh, cool.
Spacey Cowboy Bebop-esque. So right now we're on like a desert planet with like a bunch of plateaus and monsters.
That's got
And we're looking for a guy named Tartine Duplot. I always forget his name and call him Tartan, but that's here nor there. And then last session we spent 45 minutes investigating hologram toilets, which I now have to draw, of course. And then we also made a Ziploc bag of holding.
Oh, that sounds useful.
It was so dumb.
What if the zip breaks?
And I can't wait to share the art of the scene that I have to draw. But it's with Ara and Orin and Wade.
Okay,
All right,
you did
Winslow. After all of that, you feel like something is like creepy. There's something about this place that you're just like, ugh. But other than that, you don't get much. Ziminiar and Miles, on the other hand, you two, you know exactly. Besides getting this just like creepy, eerie feeling, you also remember it as you all have been feeling the same like weakness, very reminiscent of the Silent Benedict that you were in, and for a hot minute. And you also then both look back up at the stairs and you just see like a figure standing there. Miles, you can't tell who it is, but you know someone's standing there watching you guys leave. And Zeminiar, you notice that it's Hamlet watching you guys leave as like Mina just kind of like shows up and like pulls him down. And then you guys leave nice and peacefully. And the guards give you back all your gear. And you are now back in the city of Cuckoo. Where do y'all want to go and do? Did you want to stop by the church? Did you want to go back to the tavern and just pick up anything? Go shopping?
Is there any place that I can possibly get a scroll for spells? Or any
Yeah.
magical items, really?
Yeah. Yes,
'Cause I
there
got.
is. I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot all my bloody books. Fuck me. All right, I guess we'll grab these two. Yep, these look good to me. I'm not gonna carry the rest because I'm lazy. All right. Yeah, we can go schwapping. Miles, did you want to stop by your church and see Wallace Jr.?
I
Or
should let him know that we'll be out of town for a bit.
yeah, of course. Winslow, where are you wanting to go do?
Well,
You
of
have to go with
course.
Miles.
Right.
I forgot. I just somehow forgot that you're also going to go visit Wallace Jr.
Yeah.
Zamini, are you going to tag along with them and stay in the group, or are you both going to go your separate ways immediately?
Well, as much as I'd like to strangle Wallace Jr., I said I would behave, so I'm gonna go to the magic place.
Uh,
Okay. We're going to deal with the church first.
Okay.
So you both walk in,
mhm.
and it's shining. Like the floor is a mirror at this point. He's polished it to the point where it's a mirror. It
Wow.
seems like it's like that weird moment in Harry Potter where it's all white and not Gandalf, the Dumbledore, that's his name. The other long bearded wizard looking fellow. You know what? Screw it. It's very Dumbledore. No, that's right. Shit. No, it's all falling apart. So it's very much in that scene of just like ethereally clean. And you see Wallace Jr. He's like lighting some candles and also obsessively as the wax melts, he's like picking it back up on the candles so they don't melt down or they stay very even. And yeah, he sees you walk in and he waves. And he's like, "Father Brutus, hello."
Hello, my child. I
Uh,
see you've been taking care of the house while I've been away.
mhm.
Have you attracted any souls to see the light?
Mhm.
Go on, tell me about this.
I did it very cleanly and organized them by alphabet,
I'm not
like
sure
you
that you're
taught me.
completely understanding what I'm asking, but that's okay. Well,
Do you need me to show you?
yes. All right.
Okay. And he takes you down to like the basement.
Oh, I thought I
Cool.
didn't end up showing him that, but okay.
He found it. He found a basement. He
Okay.
found a basement room. Maybe not your room, but he found a basement room. And he's like, I found somewhere while I was looking around and I saw what you had done in there, but I thought I'd do it more organized and such. I also didn't want to use fire because I was scared to use the fire because it's not clean and symmetrical. But I did it this way. And as he opens like this door, you notice this is the cleanest like slaughterhouse you've ever seen. As he just has people in there. There's like 4 people in there that are hanging on little meat hooks, all surgically cleaned out of blood. And there's just like little buckets underneath, all clean. And he's like, "Did I do good?"
You did very good. No, I don't hate this. I don't hate this at all. You make me proud.
I even look. I even sewed them back so you could use them.
Amazing.
And you notice the like surgical stitching that has been done on all of these people.
It is
What's
not.
this?
Sorry, what is that?
What is this?
You're not allowed down here. Go back upstairs. Anyways,
I was about to say, is he down there too?
No.
Is he just like down there going, what?
no. This is very good. You'll be a. Remember though, it is not for us to use the bodies. That is why we use fire to make sure that the entire person is sent back to the blessed one
But
as a whole.
yeah. But what if I just chop them very, very, very thinly, and then hide them, like, in the ground.
Well, how would that serve the Blessed One?
Well, we're turning it back to the earth that she gave us.
I suppose that is an interesting interpretation. That
I'm just scared because ashes cause dust, and I don't like dust. Dust scares me,
we must.
Father Brutus.
Yes, well, we must all face our fears from time to time.
I will burn them right away. And as you see him like walk over and start doing a pulley chain, you see like this door open and he's just created a furnace here and he's just like slowly wheeling them in. And then he closes the furnace and he goes, I'll have it clean, no worries, Father Brutus. I saved all the blood though, and I organized them by their names alphabetically.
Very good. Make sure that the blood is donated along with the bodies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And one more thing. Do you have the knife that you used to perform the ritual?
Mm-hmm. I cleaned it and put it right back in the box in my bedroom.
See, that's... You want to make sure that that knife is properly sanctified with their blood, because that is how the power of the goddess enters the knife.
Mm-hmm. I will do that, Father Brutus.
Yes, that all makes sense. Very good. I like this. Okay. This guy's gonna be the end game boss.
You're creating a monster.
Yes, this
So you
is-
guys leave your his basement.
I'm pretty sure
His
we're not
dungeon.
creating a monster. We're just enabling the monster.
Truly. So you both walk up, and he then realizes his candle wax has gotten unsymmetrical, and he runs over and he starts fixing all the candle waxes again. And yep, he just kind of goes back to doing his thing. Is there anything else you wanted to talk to Wallace Jr. about?
No, he seems to understand the basic principles. I'm happy with it.
That's great.
We gotta go to
Alright.
the marketplace though, before
Yes,
we head out.
you do. Let me just make sure that... Okay, Zaminiar's there. No one else is on the map. Okay, good. Sorry, I had to make sure. Oh, are you guys just carrying Haribo's body around? Like, who has Haribo?
Zimini.
I have
Mini.
Harbor.
Are-
I am carrying him in a backpack.
Okay. Bless
I am
him.
carrying him in a sack and just pulling him around.
like
Okay.
a papoose.
Yeah.
Good golly. All right, well,
I
you
don't
all
know.
three... Oh, sweet, precious Haribo. All
The
right.
last time we left him alone, he got abducted by a dragon. What?
Fair. So you all arrive in the marketplace, and it seems nice and busy, and the hustle and bustle is about. And you see, actually, could you all roll perception checks for me? Let's see what you guys see
Wait,
happening and
God.
hearing about.
I sure
believe
that's
you
where
know.
I am.
Sorry,
Wow,
can't be
Miles.
bothered.
Miles can't be bothered. Winslow
They made
and
it back.
Zaminiar, you both hear, but you don't really pinpoint from where. You hear just like in different directions, people going like, "Oh, they were the ones. Oh, they were the ones there. Wow, they got out. Ooh." And that's all you really hear. You just hear people like, you guys have caused a commotion, it seems.
Yes, I'm
Of
happy.
course.
I'm
Yeah.
happy I can't be bothered with this.
Yep.
Why did I cause a commotion this time? I didn't do anything. I'm not saying that out loud. I'm just thinking it.
Yeah. And well,
I'm gonna ignore it as best I can and just try to find a magic shop because I made promises and I'm a good little demon.
well, lucky for you, there is a familiar face all in the midst
no.
of the crowd.
No.
It is your favorite potato salesman.
No. Fuck.
He is here if you need assistance, or you could just wander about.
Hey,
Actually,
Bucky. Do you
let's
have
see.
something to do?
Ooh, he didn't notice you. Big sad. Unless you go up to him.
Fine. It's only led to some fun adventures, so let's ask him if he knows anything.
All right. So you guys walk up to Bucky's stall, which I believe was 7. So right here. Boop. If y'all want to walk on up. And you walk up, and there's like another lady that's like shopping, and she scurries away, and he looks over and goes, "Well, howdy. If it isn't my
Howdy.
best friend."
But okay, hi, Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's me.
uh,
That's my name that my mama gave me.
and she gave you a fine one, good sir.
Absolutely. I'm sure whatever your name is, your mother also gave you a great name.
It's Zeminiar, and I hope you're right. But
Zminyar.
you can call
Zminyar.
me. You kind of got it at the end there, but you can call me Zim if it makes it easier for you.
I don't know. If I say Zim, I'll think of Zimmity Doo Ma Nimmy Nimmy. And I don't want to sing that every time I see you.
Uh,
Though you are red, so you
uh,
remind me of that dress that woman wore once and sang a song similar to that.
Zeminiar looks at Bucky as if Bucky and everything behind him were not there because he has no idea how to respond to that.
Empty thought. But what you
He-
need more potatoes. You liked my recipe, all 3 of you. You liked my recipe.
We
Yes,
did.
I did, but I do not need potatoes. I
Oh.
happen to notice that you are kind of a strong-looking Minotaur, and
Mm-hmm. I got muscles because I work out.
I yes, and I'm well aware that I could probably be asking someone better, but you look like someone who may have, I don't know, adventured a little. Do you happen to, and I was wondering if you knew of any magic shops around here, or shops that had woo kind of stuff, you know?
Ooh, stuff. Oh boy,
Yeah,
magic
like stuff that
is.
makes you give you the jitters.
Oh, well, that's the bar.
Oh,
But, um, if you're talking the ooh woo stuff, that's the brothel. But if you're talking about the woo stuff, that's down over at Miss Debutante's. She's nice. She is an old lady, but she's nice.
what does she sell?
The woo stuff.
You do know I mean like scary woo, right?
Ah, that means you want to go to the Spirit Halloween. That's over across the way. If you want the woo stuff.
Our new
But I
spirit
thought you were
Halloween
talking
would
the
make its right here.
woo. That's the
What do
woo stuff, not the
what
woo stuff.
what do you mean by the previous one then? What does the old lady do? What
Well,
does the
she
old lady
sells like crystal balls, and then she has some scrolls that make some fireworks happen every now and then. She does it for the kiddies at home.
All right, I think I'll go there first, but I am definitely going to go to the Spirit Hallow. What's it? In the hell is Halloween, anyways? I don't know. Feels like a night for me, but I'll go there next. What?
Absolutely.
Now, which one did you say she was at?
She's over across the way over in that building there, as he points to this building over yonder.
Why? Thank you, Bucky. Now, if I have to tell you something. Um,
Yes.
I I can't I can't go too long without causing a scene. Damn it. I'm gonna roll for something really quick first, and if it's bad, I will try to do it bad. It's good. I'll try to.
Absolutely. You
All
usually
right.
do things
Yes.
bad, Zamini are.
All right. So, Bucky, do you see that fine young man over there with the long hair and the bluish coat?
Hey,
Yes,
Lee.
that's your friend. I heard the tailor's assistant was in love with him.
Yes. But did you know that he hates cows?
He does what?
He hates cows.
How could he
don't
hate such a divine beast?
I don't even know. I hear he even insulted your mother.
You insulted my mama?
Yes, I believe he did.
You did? How dare you, Zaminiar? Why would you do
No,
that? Why would
I
you
didn't.
insult my mother?
Yeah, why, Zaminiar? How could you do that to him?
Serena just looks at Bucky and goes, "No, I said he did, not me."
Ah, but you said yes when I asked if you insulted my mother. You were like, yes.
I thought you asked me if he insulted your mother.
No, I was looking at you.
Well, no. Wait.
Did you
Because you were
both
looking at
insult my
me.
mother? As he like grabs it, he grabs his battle axe.
No, I did not insult your mother. He did. Not me, not the dwarf in front of him. He did.
Why would he insult my mother? He don't even know her.
He says that her milk isn't delicious.
That's only for me to have, and you not to have, sir.
Excuse me.
Why are you having my mother, sir? Are you my father-in-law she was telling me about?
Dominion sneaks away.
I have heard more than I wanted to.
Wait, you're dating my mother?
Wait, is it Minyar or me?
Both of you.
Dominion
Are you
walked
both
away.
dating my mother?
I just
Dominion's
thought you
gone.
said- I don't even know who your mother is.
Then how are you sucking her milk?
Sorry, I'm doing what now?
How are you sucking her milk then? If you don't even know who she is. Are you going to one of them bars? Those brothels?
I have no idea what you're talking about, who your mother is.
You don't know what a brothel
or
is?
what you're talking about.
How do you not know what a brothel is?
That's not what I said. Are you daft? Punk?
I was gonna ask. I heard about them boys. They were quite crafty, dafty punkaroonies.
Oh yeah, they absolutely were. I remember seeing
They
them when
used
they
to
came
work
through
at the
town.
Spirit Halloween, but then they disbanded.
Oh shit, how
It
many
was
Spirit
sad.
Halloweens are we up to now in this town?
It was only the one.
No
There was
way.
only one other store that went out of business.
That
It was a
that can't be. There
it
were
was
like
a bedroll and Beyonder.
oh no, not them.
Yeah, they went out of business, and so then the Spirit Halloween moved in.
Well, they never
Next
had
to
a
the Cox
chance.
Sporting Goods.
Ah, yes. I got a lot of goods from Cox Sporting Goods.
Absolutely.
What's this?
It's a tragedy what happened. I think they're gonna be next, aren't they?
Truly, they deserve it. I
Yeah.
hope well, what's that one online? Not the online store,
The
but
mountain
there's this one.
the mount what is it? Mountain
Yeah.
Gander.
Yeah, that one. And then there's what is it
Wally
called? The
World.
Salmon Pro Shop. Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's a good place to go. I go there to sometimes take
Really?
care of my battle axes when I leave town.
I never heard about that place. I should check it
Oh,
out
there's
sometime.
a small one down in what's that one town way down south? I think it's Isale. They had one down there when I traveled once. And when I was in Wool.
Oh, they don't
The
strike me
Great
as
Wool.
they don't strike me as the kind of place that would have franchised to another city.
Yeah. I don't. I was in war at the time when I went.
Oh,
I got
what
this
war?
nice battle axe there. Oh, it was the Scramble War of a year.
Oh shit, you've been around a while, huh?
Absolutely. I am a solid veteran of this country, which is why it hurts that you would insult my mother and then act like you don't know her and date her at the same time.
Well, I mean, if you introduce
Father-in-law.
me,
I'm supposed
I'll know
to
her.
respect you as my father-in-law, but I'm finding it very hard to respect you, sir.
Why is that? We have so much in common.
Were you also in the Great Scramble War of the year?
No. I was in a different
You're
war,
what?
but I mean, not that one. But it was a war of hard boil of the year.
Ah, that was, yes, that did happen. Thank you for your service, brethren. I will forgive you for possibly insulting my mother.
Well, I mean, is it an insult if we're dating?
I mean, if you can handle her, then you are one great man.
Yes.
That
Well,
is my mother.
you can call me Dad.
Yes,
I'll
Dad.
allow it. Okay.
How did this happen?
Son, do you know any places here that provide a good potion that prevents one from getting drowsy and going to sleep unexpectedly?
Ah, I mean, I think Miss. Fuck, did I name her Debutante? I think Miss Debutante had. Let me write that down before I forget her.
Yeah, good plan, good plan. Alright, thank you, son. I think I know the way.
Okay, we'll spell it like this. Miss Debutante. Yes. Yes, Miss Debutante has some potions as well. I heard they were really good, but I don't know if they just put people to sleep. I heard there was a new drug going around, possibly, that's
Well,
doing that.
we're looking to negate the effects of said drug.
Ah, good luck. I hear it's dangerous in the bar scene, so you better be careful.
Oh yeah.
Watch over your glasses when you're in a bar, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, breaking the fourth wall. Look at us. But yes. Safety first.
Safety first. Yes.
You gotta follow the truth program. Much more effective than the dare program.
We all let that line down at some point.
Absolutely. Well, good luck at Miss Debutante.
Thank
She
you.
is a fine old woman.
Thank you, son. Tell your mother I said hello.
I will absolutely do that. But don't you know where she is?
Oh yes, but I might be out of town and not see her for some time.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair. I will be
Anyways.
sure to tell her.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I have tried so many times to mess with Miles. And this is the farthest it's ever gotten, and it's still fucked up.
And now he's somehow married to Bucky's mom. So that's where we've
He's more crafty
landed.
than I thought.
This is just how Miles gets the most dates.
Truly. He just fakes married to everyone. He just says yes and. He's literally the improv marriage man. He's like, yes and we're married.
But then it always ends up being true. Like, the camera pans 10 years later and he's happily married to all these people.
He just has a harem.
He can't bend.
He's just Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows. Who's had 47 wives. This is just the creation of Nandor the Relentless. Oh my god, no.
They call Miles the Unbendable. He hasn't bent his fingers since he got on all those rings.
Right.
Oh.
Literally can't. It's just ring pops. But anyways, you all walk to Miss Debutante's. And you walk in and you see the most portly, we'll say gnome, as she literally just looks like Violet from Willy Wonka, just round with tiny arms.
And Tiny herself.
Yeah. She's just a little blueberry. And you realize that she, this is gonna be bad. You realize that she's behind the counter when you guys walk in, and it's a dark place with like candles lighting it out. Like all the windows are sealed out, so it's very dark in here except for candles lighting it. And you just see this round blueberry looking woman who's just in blue. She's not blue, but she only wears blue. And she's standing there, from what you can tell at least. And she just looks up at you all with like big bug eyes. She's just like, yes.
Good question. Do my eyes look like lanterns from up here?
Yes.
Cool. I was wondering if you had any magical items or spell scrolls that I could learn from.
Yes.
May I? Well,
Can
would you
stop
show
asking
me
her?
your inventory?
I was gonna say, stop asking her yes or no questions.
No, I'm
Would
seeing
you
how long
ask
that
her?
I'm seeing how long I could go with this. Would you please show me your selections? Ones that you would recommend for a sorcerer.
Yes. And as she like turns her body so her little arm can push off the counter and just kind of like roll back, you then hear a weird like jingle noise that's very familiar. And as she walks out, you hear like click clack, and you realize she's riding a service dog. And instead of walking, she has the service dog. We'll say it's a nice golden retriever. Why not?
Oh, thank God.
And it's Spoopy. No.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I'm
Spoopy!
like, no.
No. It's a nice golden retriever. And it has a little vest on and it says wheelchair on it. And she like her and her dog, wheelchair, waddle on over to like a shelf. And she just kind of looks back at you all as she stands in front of a shelf.
I walk over.
And she just like looks up at you.
Would you please enlighten me on your collection?
Yes. And then she like lights another candle and just like gives it to you.
Yeah, that's not safe in the
Simi-
store. That's mainly selling scrolls.
Dominiar just takes the candle with his tail and holds it. And I meant, would you tell me what the magical items are and what they do? Describe them for me.
Yes.
Dominiar stares at this woman
She just
like he
stares
can't
back.
see her. Like the floor beneath her isn't there either, with a smile on his face. And every single inch of him is like, I could be evil again. I could just explode everything. Miles,
she
you want to
just-
take this one?
And she just sighs as she goes, I didn't know that I'd have to explain paper to you.
As many are just like lowers the candle for his tail a little bit and looks at the blueberry, trying his hardest. I meant, what is it that the scrolls contain? And did you have? And I did not know if you had other things besides scrolls, like I don't know, robes, rings, anything like that. So when I asked you to describe, I was asking you to please tell me what it is that you have for sale here.
Can you not read or are you blind?
I was just hoping you were a more fun salesman. But I guess you are giving me quite a bit of fun, so I won't complain. And Zemeniar starts looking through the scrolls.
And she walks away. Well, she
She rides away.
wheelchair takes her
She
away.
gallops away.
And then goes back to the counter and she starts like pulling out some boxes as you see her do like the whole oompa loompa like turn to like grab some boxes, and she puts some rings on the counter as well while you're scrolling through everything.
Do I find anything interesting?
Roll a d20 for me. Just a straight d20.
Okay. Oop. Uh,
You find a scroll of. Oof. No, I won't do that one. Of locate
oh, that
object.
bad.
No, it was funny because I was like, do I dare just say, oh, you find a scroll of dark vision? But
oh, I.
I
Oh
decided
wow,
not to be mean.
cool. That,
Something I already have. No, you
yeah,
find
I was
a
born with it.
scroll of locate object. The
How
5.
Mrs. Dubitant, how much for the locate object scroll?
How much do you want to purchase it for?
Miss Debutante, as much as you said before, if it was, oh, you know, I had something for this, but I don't. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. No one wants to pay for anything, Mrs. Debutante. I'm asking you because I need to, and you deserve to be paid for your services.
Well, I'm selling it
And
for 20 gold.
so Miniar puts it back. How about these rings then?
Of course. Or I'm sorry. Yes. And on the ring counter, you see a few rings. One is silver with a like jagged tooth smile, almost just like a jagged tooth kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
So it just has a mouth on it and it's made out of silver or so. But that's sitting there. So I will get that photo sent over to you all in the Discord. If Discord wants to ever stop being a little brat.
No.
So there's this. Maybe. There you go. Give that back to me. There is then another ring that's very small and gold with a white pearl in the center with 2 dots in it that you also see. And it is this one here. Boopity boop. And then there is one last one that may tickle your fancy. Sorry, I'm rereading it to make sure it's actually safe. This is too complicated as much as I want to use it. But there's one more that does hit
Wait,
your fancy.
did you?
It's a bronze ring with a bunch of jagged marks on it. And can you specifically, Ziminiar, roll a history check for me?
Okay. I'm also trying to find where it is in the
Ooh.
Discord you're sending these because I can't find it.
They're in the in-session chat.
Oh, they're in the in-session chat. Okay. Why
Mm-hmm.
didn't it? I swear, promise you right now, it did not show up.
Fine. You do not recognize this one.
But I still catches my fancy.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
notice it, but then you don't remember where.
arcana
were.
it.
Yeah. One moment.
I just get overwhelmed by all the magical shit that's in that room, and there's just a
Pretty
giant
much,
aura
honestly.
coming from the freaking blueberry herself. So, oh God, it's God! Is that what happens? I just get kind of like hoofed by everything around me.
Yeah, you kind of get overwhelmed and you see a bunch of magic in the room, but other than that, you're not able to pinpoint anything.
This is Debutante. Can you tell me about this particular ring? And I hold up the one with all the notches in it. And by tell me, I mean, please tell me what it is about this ring that's worth buying, or what is it that makes it worth selling in general.
Well, as you see, this ring was owned by a great person at one time. He was
Mhm.
known for using many, many spells, but as he was hung at the gallows, he was known as the Shadow Blade Master, as that was his preferred weapon of choice.
Well, that sounds immediately awesome. But I don't know if that's any of that's true. Insight?
You can incite her.
I did.
She's definitely telling the truth.
So you're really willing to sell this? I can't imagine how much it'd be worth.
I'll
Unless it's
sell
really
it.
just a ring, right?
No, it's a magical ring.
How much?
I'm willing to part with it for, I would say, as she like ponders over it, as you could tell, she's like almost really attached to it in a sense, but she goes, "What trade of work are you in?"
Well, it looks at Miles and then like thinks about it. I guess we're just adventurers. We don't particularly work for anyone other than ourselves. We get jobs from all sorts of people. I guess you could say I'm a freelancer.
I'm willing to sell it for 35 gold.
How about 10?
How about 29?
How about 11?
Are you broke?
How about 28?
How about 11?
Do you need a loan?
No.
The loan shark is out.
No. I will not call you master again.
Okay. So what does it do again? What was the important thing about this ring that you wanted it for?
Look, man, I really don't know because every time. Would you mind asking this lady what this ring does? Maybe you can get her to actually tell you things instead of just the history of it.
Yes, I was hoping you'd get out of the way so that I could talk to her. So,
Dominiar sneakishly keeps the hold of the ring the entire time.
No. Back in box.
Wait, sleight of hand. 21. No, I'm kidding.
wow, is he stealing from her?
Seeing they're all in the glass box to begin with, she never took them out.
Yeah, but I mean,
See, that's where I failed to remember.
Yeah.
I forgot it was in a glass box.
Yeah. You did. This ring is magical, as the wearer used Shadow Blade as a weapon of choice. They say this
literally a
ring
shadow
is
mage.
the reason that he uses it so frivolously.
Could you tell us more about this Shadow Blade? Why does it require this ring? How does this ring help?
It well, one could say you no longer would have to use up as much magic as this ring uses it as a bonus almost. You just get
Ah,
it about twice per day is how many times he killed, and he
Oh,
always wore it.
how good of a. What does Shadow Blade do exactly?
I hear all the people that he killed went mad, so I would probably say
how'd they go, man?
roughly 2d8 psychic damage or so.
Wow, that's so
11. I'm
so
literally a
special.
shadow mage. Please.
You know,
I
this ring suits my fancy a little.
Oh, Miles, I will.
I will sell
I.
it for 35.
Allow me to show you these uh, daggers that I have, and I pull out the shadow glass daggers. You see,
Oh.
the shadow glass is like a passion to me, and therefore this would fit my collection so very nicely. Perhaps you could take some of the price off. Just, although I understand, of course, if you cannot.
Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Oh boy.
You can do it.
I'll have you know I'm very persuasive.
Jesus! Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she looks, she goes, "You are a man of passion and many words.
Oh, most
I will go
certainly.
down to 20."
For 20, that is a steal, ma'am. I cannot thank you enough. And I hand over 20.
Fantastic. And she opens the case and takes out the ring and hands it to you. And now I will send this to you in a nice, cute, private message. So that way then you can write it on your character sheet.
Very good.
If I could ever learn how to take a freaking screenshot and not clip words out of it.
Have you tried Windows key Shift S?
I just use the snipping tool.
That's the shortcut for the snipping tool.
Yeah, I was using it, but then my dummy brain was like, "LOL, lol, let me cut off half this word because I don't know how to do lines anymore."
Same. Me too.
So there you go.
Oh, I see.
Yep. And any other question?
I have an interest in magic, some other magic items, perhaps. And I just take the ring and make sure that I'm holding it the whole time so Ziminyar doesn't try anything funny.
Yeah. Are you gonna put it on and attune to it or no?
Not immediately, but later in the day, perhaps.
Okay.
I have actually something I would like to ask Devite. I have, Miss Devite, I actually don't know if this thing has any value really, but maybe you would be able to know. And Zeminiar reaches into his jacket and pulls out a red necklace that he's had with him for a while now. I do not remember even how I got it. But anyways, would you care to look at this? I know I can't really afford anything in your shop, but maybe you can tell me what this is, or if it's anything.
Yeah. Where did you find this?
At a game. I think it was during the 2 years of travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back again. Oh, I had to travel around the country for a little bit doing a job for someone, and I just kind of came across this along my travels.
Well, I would say I don't know the exact origin or specific, but it reminds me of some very old family line heirloom jewelry. Long,
Hmm.
long ago, it's very valuable, but unfortunately, I'm not a historian. But I would say this is very old and something to keep. It's definitely a family heirloom. If you look in the stone, as she like puts up a like fire, like one of her candles, she like grabs one and puts like the stone like kind of like facing it so it glows in. You can see there's etching behind the stone.
What's
That
it
is a
say?
family crest of sort.
Or
I don't know the family, but it looks very
what?
similar to a few others I have seen.
Now can I see it? I might know the
Can we do a
family.
history check for this?
I don't know the family, I'm sorry.
No, can we do a history check?
Yeah, if you want to.
I should have some knowledge of uh, royal families and the like. Perhaps I could be of use.
Yeah, you can do a check as well. Like, she's just holding it out in the open, so anyone can
Would I
see
have
it right
would
now.
I have advantage since I have quite a
Yeah. Yeah. You could do advantage on it.
Uh-huh.
Jesus fuck. Okay. So, both of you, well, Zaminiar, you history-wise, what you get more from it, as you know where you found this on your family tombstone.
Yeah.
You know
I didn't want to tell them that.
I mean, I'm telling you that. Whether you tell them, that's on you.
Well, I better not
Oh.
keep that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know that she definitely has some knowledge on it. And when you look at the crest, you recognize it from like it kind of like almost sparks your memories as you see it on a few like flags in the town that you grew up in. And you recognize that it's the same symbol, but what the name is, you don't recall. And Miles, with your perfect recollection of apparently everything you've ever read, like you have everything No, I can't say it. I can't say it. No, you're not.
I'm well
got it
versed in royal
memorized.
families.
Okay, Axel.
Exactly. I was like, no, I can't.
I
say
was
the
waiting.
word.
I knew it. I'm like, do
The
it,
word.
do it,
The
do it,
word.
give it.
Triggers me to where it's just actually, do you want a sea salt popsicle, Miles? While we go over this, and you want to sit on a clock tower with a spiky haired blonde Haribo and talk about some real existential shit. But
Sorry,
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
and
play enough
Sunny
Kingdom
will be
Hearts
there.
to
Get
quite
it? Because Sunny doesn't exist anymore.
anyhow, you remember reading a book and a long old ancient text that talks about like three major houses. There was like, and they were very odd names like Frostwall and Earth Shatterer. And the third one, you remember it just being known as like, oh no, I can't use that either. No, all the
Gryffindor?
reference. No, I was gonna use the word lava, but then all I could think of was Corn Kid and not Lava Monster. And I was like, no. The Ash Falls. There we go. Fuck it. Why not? And so
What was the
there we
second
go.
one before Ashfall?
Good question. I already
Frostwall
forgot.
something and Ashwall.
Yeah.
Wait, should they all be walls?
Yeah, they probably were. Fuck it. No, I can't use crumble either. All I think of is the cookies. No, my brain.
Oh,
I just
jeez.
had it.
Frostwall,
I-
Forest
it's so
Wall,
good.
and Ashwall, something like that.
Now there's Ash Fall, and then there was. Oh, good golly, we'll watch the VOD back. I already forgot the two. I'll
Okay.
send them back. I need to get official names for them. I
Yeah.
have them written somewhere. I don't feel like scrolling through my
Anything,
210-page notes that I have on this campaign.
anything
So-
that I know about the Ashfall family?
You remember that they were definitely the oldest family that was around, and you remember them being a tiefling colony, along with mixed in with like draconic blood. But
Oh,
as for
interesting.
what they were known for, they lived near mountains, and that's about it.
Could
So
I
you
assume
recognize-
it's Mountain Akai? Or the Akai Mountain or something?
You could take probably a rough guess that it's probably that, as that's one of the only real mountains on this continent. So,
Well, I generously point all this out to Zeminyar and even make fun of the relationship between the tieflings of the Ashfall family, and he's probably one of them, I say sarcastically.
Zeminyar doesn't even hear Miles. He's
So-
kind of just like having those memories that you were mentioning,
yeah.
and he pulls the necklace to him and puts it around his neck. He takes out a single gold and he gives it to. Now I have to scroll up.
Miss Debutante.
Miss Debutante. He gives a single gold to Miss Debutante and says, I don't think I can actually afford anything in your shop, but you did me a good service just now.
Yes.
How much would you say either of those other two rings are by any chance? You don't need to give me any of the information on them. I'm feeling kind of festive.
I
And
would
if I can
say in
afford
the
one,
upper
I'll take.
ranges. If you could not afford the other one, you could not afford this one.
Is there
Or
not a
that.
single is there not a single artifact in here that could be
10 gold or less.
yeah. If not, it's
No.
okay.
I sell very specific and historical things at Miss Debutante's magical antique store.
Well, I guess the only thing I can ask you now is, can you point me in the direction of a place called Spirit Halloween? My friend Bucky said that it's a really good place for stuff. I don't know if you know what that means, but if it's still open.
It's Bucky. It's him. But the Spirit Halloween is not open yet. You have another week or two. They're still
I figured
setting
he
up,
might
though.
I see. I figured he might be reliable since he actually sent me your way.
He is reliable. He takes out my
Wait.
trash.
Wait, hold on. Bucky is the way he is, and were you two adventurers together?
No, we were in the war of the scrambled war of the year.
That's the one.
What?
I think it
Is that really
the
a
War
thing?
of Scramble.
Zeminyar looks back at Miles. You guys are being serious?
Yeah.
I know. Like those were war names.
I
Really?
can't believe this. What, did you grow up under a rock?
You know how I grew up.
I don't think you even know how you grew up.
I
Don't.
Well, I know that I didn't grow up. Looks at Miss Debutante. I didn't grow up around here. I'm kind of foreign. Ish. Anyways, if you two are good here, I don't really know where to go right now. I already have a cool new sword.
Well, you completely interrupted.
Hey Miles, is there any... What?
I was gonna ask her for stuff too, and I'm sure Winslow had things he wanted to ask about too.
Am I allowed?
Yes, you're allowed. You have to prepare just as much as we do. Did you
All
want
right,
to start?
I will
or-
wait here for you guys. I don't mind.
Good.
I'm kind of in the mood right now.
In the mood? Well, that's not good for
No,
us.
not that mood. But are you interested? Why?
No, I'm not interested.
So Miniar wags his candle.
Anyways, Miss Debutante, do you
Mhm.
have any items that would prevent magical sleep or paralysis from taking effect on someone?
Mm. You're talking about magical sleep and paralysis? Or are you
Also,
talking the drug sleep
both.
paralysis?
Both.
For the spells, possibly. The drug, no.
How is the drug administered?
I've heard only rumors. And some say it's breathed in, some say it's by touch. It's a little hard and unknown.
I see. Well, thank you for that information, but yes, about the magical kind then?
Any spell that you know that would negate paralysis would be your best bet. She probably has a scroll of it.
Oh, yeah, I guess I probably have that too. Restoration, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, well, in that case. Oh, do you have any kind of counterspell amulet, perhaps?
Hmm. Counterspell. Let me look and see
Or
what I
dispel?
have. One moment. Let me go in the back. Wheelchair. And she walks in the back behind this beaded curtain. And you all are left kind of alone at this moment.
Ah, I have dispel myself. I'd only need counterspell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she comes out after a few minutes and she comes out with a pocket watch. And she goes, "If I remember correctly, this was a pocket watch from a old wizard who was in the wall. And this pocket watch was used to counteract some spells of sorts. So I believe this is what you're looking for." Yes.
I inspected to see what more precisely it does. What do you want me to
Yeah.
roll?
I guess an arcana check would probably be your best bet.
I did my best.
You can just kind of glean that she's pretty much saying this is enchanted with a counter spell, spell slot.
Ah,
So just
good.
the spell, counter spell.
Okay, so I
Be
could
used.
use it to prevent someone from casting. And is it like one use per day, or is it just one time?
Once per day, I would say, yeah.
Okay, and how much?
I will sell it to you for 55 gold.
I would like to negotiate the price down.
Hmm.
What's the matter? Don't have enough gold there?
Shut up, Siminiar. I'm wearing your ring. I wave his ring in his face.
I don't even care anymore.
Good. Um, yes, just would you once again give a discount to
Do you
kindly help me?
collect pocket watches?
I wish I could say that I did, but perhaps this will be the first one in my collection.
Hmm. I see. Roll a persuasion check.
Hey,
I will knock it down to 40 for you.
alright, I'll accept that. Thank you. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
kind, generous lady debutante.
Mm-hmm.
Winslow, is there anything that you would like?
Um, do you have any healing potions, or do you know which stand may have some?
Yes, I have a whole shelf down the second aisle on the third shelf. There's a bunch of healing potions there, ranging from 5 gold to 50 gold.
I'll be over there.
Yeah. So she has about 4 of each level of healing potion, and as they go up, it kind of increments with it. So I think there's like, oh god, let me look up all the healing potions because I always forget. Healing potions always trip me up because there's also then specific dice rolled with them. 5E, not Terraria, please. Yeah, so there's healing, greater healing, superior healing, and supreme healing.
How
So
much is the 5 gold?
the healing, it's just a normal healing potion, and it's a 2d4 plus 2.
All right, I will buy one.
Alrighty, make sure you add that in your inventory. There we go.
How many gold is the greater healing potion?
One moment, and I will have that for you. Oh, great heavens. Do I
We
have
gotta
to
write it entirely, and
actually...
it's not in the search thing.
Yeah. Okay, so please tell me I can have good handwriting all of a sudden. 5.
You said 2d4 plus 2?
Yes. Then we'll do 10. Then we'll do... oh my god. That turned out much better than I was expecting it to. Ah, shit. Oh no. One moment, I'm having to transfer a bunch of text around. Go here. Go there. Oh god, no, it's copied like 8 times. Okay. All the technical issues. There. That's that. So they're 10 for the greater healing.
And the superior, how much is that one?
35.
Then I will take 2 of the greater healing potion.
Alrighty. Make sure you write all that fun information down on your spreadsheets. That way you do not forget it. Would you like to buy any healing potions? Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. And with that, are you guys then leaving, Miss Debutantes?
Seems like it.
Alrighty. And we will go on a quick little break here. And then we'll be right back, folks, to start part 2. Ooh.
Ooh. Hello, we're back.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
We're back. All
It's been
right,
so
so you
long.
guys just left Miss Debutantes after getting some fun knowledge, some fun world knowledge, and whatnot. And you guys realize it's now a little, not necessarily in the evening, but you can tell it's just getting evening-esque. So, what would y'all like to do?
Well, we have places to be, right?
Well, yeah, in theory you do, but it is getting night and you know this is a bit of a travel to get there.
Yeah, but the longer we put it off, the further away he gets.
He's right.
Possibly.
And
Well,
the
It's up
chances
to
of him,
y'all.
the chances of him just leaving are outright, are increased too.
Well, then how about let's discuss it in character.
Well,
Hey, Miles.
that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought you were still talking to the giant voice in the sky. But
No.
anyways, yeah, no, I agree. Let's go. Winslow, you down? Oh, well, I guess you don't have a. Winslow, are you down? You have a choice. I can kick him in the leg and we can run.
Ready.
What?
I am ready.
All right. Well, let's just hope this guy's ready. And he just slaps pats Haribo's head a couple of times, and we just keep walking.
Alrighty, so you guys start to leave and head towards this catacomb?
Yes.
Wait, did we get the
Alright.
drug yet?
We're not the ones getting the drug. What? We were
No,
worried
like
that
did we get the stuff for the anti-sleep stuff?
there was no stuff for the anti-sleep stuff. We were ambitiously hoping that there would be, but there was not.
Well, so that means on the way we should probably discuss a plan on. I'm gonna be bait, aren't I?
That was the plan that you had given us some 5
All
sessions
right.
ago now.
Fine. If when we get there, if we find him, I will go in alone without any weapons in my hands. And if he knocks me out, you guys, I mean, don't kill him, but do what you got to do. I guess we
I
have
guess
healing.
so.
We just bought healing potions, and partly for him. It was in my mind, anyways. In case we need to.
Well,
Totally not hoping that we need to. Not at all.
or are you suggesting that we hurt him and then restore him to full health with healing potions? That
Yeah, if we
seems-
need to.
Or that
But,
seems a roundabout way of granting Hamlet's request.
Yeah, see? I mean, sure, we will absolutely do everything we can to not cause a scene or cause any mayhem. But if it happens, then sure.
All right.
We'll
Well,
heal him.
remember what the lady said about how the drug is administered. Breathed in or through touch, one of those two ways probably. So, don't touch anything that you don't have to, and try not to breathe.
Wow, that was some mysticism you just spoke through the waves of sound.
That's
Yeah,
what
we know
you're
that
trying
waves
to
of
say.
sound is waves.
What are you on?
We told.
All right. Let's go with your plan then.
Well, I mean, we were gonna go with that anyways, but we'd still need a plan about, sleep stuff. But we can figure that out on the way, I guess, or not. Who knows? See what happens. I'm just imagining Winslow standing there like, we're fucked.
Probably.
All right, so you guys leave Cuckoo at evening time to
Oh,
start your journey to the catacombs, and you have a map. And you all leave. And you get out to the open desert, essentially.
With extra water, right?
I don't know. Did you guys grab extra water?
Well, yes.
Yes.
We've been in the desert, and also with like warm clothing, because it's, the desert at night.
Yeah. Alrighty. Can you all make a survival check for me?
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I just realized I was on the wrong screen.
I'm doing all right today.
Alright. Yep, you all seem to be feeling safe. So, Miniar, you notice a few tracks, and while looking at the map, just kind of like peering over Miles' shoulder or so, you look at the map and you look around and you recognize you're still going in it looks very similar directional wise from what you can gather. And
So we're not like circling, we're actually going in a line.
yeah, you guys are going
Oh.
seemingly following the map accordingly.
We're
Yeah.
using the stars as our guide.
You're about to be, because you've been traveling for a few hours now on foot, and you realize it's dark. It's getting dark to the point where the sun is setting. It's officially setting. It's at that nice, crisp, really pretty sky, but everything's starting to look kind of blue. So, do y'all want to set up camp?
I
Probably.
could probably keep going, but what about you guys? Blink, blink, headlight, headlight.
We should travel during the day. It
All
could be
right.
dangerous at night.
So, we haven't camped out together like ever.
Oh, wow. In all this time? Well, I'm from
Yeah.
here, so I obviously know right things to bring on a camping trip in the desert.
You should.
Miles, I have a question. Now that we're all the way out here in the desert, did you tell Whitley specifically to do anything while we were away? Or is he just gonna do
Wallace
Whitley thing?
Jr.
Wallace Jr.
Wallace Jr., yes.
He is.
Rewind. Did you leave Wallace Jr. with a task at the church, or is he just gonna do Wallace Jr. things?
He's
Which
going
are
to
getting
practice
scary.
the scripture, and he's going to work on becoming a proper minister and helping others find salvation. I'm really not sure why you are trying to tell me how to run my church, Ziminger.
I literally only asked a question. I'm not telling you anything.
It was very offensive.
It was literally
It's
actually for
very
your
offensive, and
benefit.
it's-
I don't know.
It's actually
What?
so embarrassing that you'd even ask. Like, I'm not sure that this isn't.
What if he
some kind
turns
of
into the
insult to
smaller
my
it was
character.
before?
I think you're greatly underestimating him, and that's also very insulting. Just because he
Well,
was
that's
once
fair.
poor doesn't mean that he's incapable.
That's actually very fair and open-minded of you, Miles. But look,
It's actually
Miles.
closed-minded of you.
Fair enough.
Of course it is. I'm a
Miles?
very egalitarian
I-
kind of guy.
But I gotta ask. Look, Winslow has a big-ass axe. He likes to use it. You know what kind of person I am, and Haribo's asleep just once. What the fuck's going on with your church? We're not gonna if we were gonna like leave you or betray you or anything like that.
I really
think
have
we would
no
have done
idea
it.
what you're thinking you're implying. The Church of the Egg has a proud history going back eons. I really don't even know what you're trying to ask me at this point.
There's no blood sacrifices in the Pochel. That's why.
And I'm not sacrificing anyone either.
Then why all the blood, dude?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dominiar looks at Winslow, who has had to be by Miles' side, as far as he knows, the entire time we were there. Winslow, can you promise me that this dude hasn't done any blood stuff? Or
Blood
murder?
stuff. What a
Or
weird
burning
thing.
people alive?
Sorry, have you not talked at length about how you wish you could do murder and burning people alive?
Yeah, that's kind of my point here. What, like, seriously, you got no reason to hide anything from us. What are we gonna do? Tell anyone? What are they gonna believe? A bunch of vagabonds like us, or the guy that's holier than thou?
I just
You
don't
kinda
see.
have-
I just don't see how you can like confront how you can cast aspersions on my character when this is the kind of person that you are.
Dispersions on your. I forgot you believe your own bullshit. Never mind. But I'm sorry. I was just trying to get to know you. But I guess we'll just move on.
All right, and what
Or-
do we know about you, Ziminyar?
Literally, you guys know as much as I do. And
You're
that
the
is
only
sad
tiefling
thing.
I've ever met in the entire land of Egg.
I'm the only what?
Tiefling in the entire land of Egg, and you have a nemesis, and it's apparently the only Asimar in the land of Egg. What's up with that?
Wait, he's the only Asmar?
Fuck if I know, but I haven't met another.
Shots fired.
You know,
I think
I
I
never
won.
really thought about the fact that he might be the only Asmar, but I also just recently figured it out, kind of. Dude's got clothes. Anyways, yeah, no, I only know I hate him because the earliest memory I have that I didn't relive because of time stuff is purely based on I remember him knocking me out, and I don't remember why. I don't know where. And at this point, I guess when is also a very proper question. And yes, it's the reason why I'm willing to not stab him or chuck a fireball at him when we see him. I genuinely have some questions to ask.
Are you sure you're not related to him in any way?
Miniar looks at Miles as though he is not even there with a smile on his face and that nothing is behind him.
Is that the no? You're
How
not sure?
how could we? I'm literally
Are you full-blooded Asimar, or tiefling, or are you half?
a tiefling is a half-blooded anything. We have to be half-blooded. We're part demon. We're only part.
Oh, well,
I'm
what's
only
the
part
other
devil,
half?
man.
Maybe the other half is Asimar.
I don't think that can happen. Bro, I've been a tiefling all my life. I've never seen a tiefling SMR competition.
Or have you? How do you know you
No.
haven't?
No, I haven't even seen another tiefling since I can remember.
Anyways,
But
I
apparently I've
digress.
been around it.
While they're having this conversation, I presume you're setting up the tents and such. Can you roll a survival check for me? Go on.
Well, anyways, look, ask me more questions, but you're gonna get a lot of I don't knows.
It's pretty unsatisfying.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I haven't figured out much. And what I have figured out is all just kind of sad. Except this thing. Twiddles the necklace. This was okay.
Tori, remind me, have I run across Asimars at any other point in the land of Egg?
No.
That's what I thought.
What a twist. Oh, God, he knocks me out in the past, didn't he? Zaminia actually says that while twiddling his screw.
Yes.
Like, would that make sense? Oh, we're supposed to do a survival one, not a perception one? My bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys are just setting up your tents. Zmini, are yours? You keep thinking you're missing a few poles. Winslow and Miles, you're doing just fine. You
Yay!
set it up with no
Yes,
issues.
we're experts.
Yep.
Well, there, I shared some of my story. How about you? Actually, Winslow, how about you share some of your story? We literally know nothing about you, like, at all. Speaking of which, I don't know if we know that much about Haribo either.
Well, what you see is what you get.
What does that mean?
It means he loves mustaches and killing things.
Why do you... What? Winslow, you also like killing things?
Only
Probably
if I have
monsters.
to.
Okay, I was gonna say, you're getting awfully close to Ziminyar territory.
No, I don't by choice.
Well, he does by choice. He's kind of a bad
Well, you
guy,
know,
huh?
wait, you don't go out. I mean, I do what I want. And Winslow, don't you slay monsters and beasts on your spare time?
No,
So you're just
only out
randomly.
of defense.
So you're telling me you just randomly got so buff and badass by rolling around and killing things that were hungry?
Yeah, that's right.
Did you ever kill any slavers?
I unfortunately have not had the chance. Looks at Miles.
What do you mean?
Hey, he's not.
Why are you looking at me that way?
To be fair, Winslow, and I'm very, very aware of who I'm defending here, Winslow. He's not a slaver right now. You're in free territory now. You're a free man again. But when we go back there, you feel free.
I suppose the situation could have been worse.
Yeah, I didn't cause any trouble. No bad things happened, and it's all because of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dominiar looks at him. I still don't know if you tortured that poor little man into being the
I
obedient
seem to
person that
recall
he is.
him being tortured by somebody. Remind me, who was holding Wallace Jr. by the neck with their tail? Was it me? Was it my tail that was strangling an innocent young soul?
You know, the saddest part is...
No, I don't have a tail. It couldn't have been me.
I'm gonna say this
now.
Who
could have it been?
That I know I'm right when I say this.
What did Haribo say?
It is a sad, sad thing that me threatening to kill his life is the only reason his life got saved that night. I know you would have burned that motherfucker.
It's stunning the kind of rings and loops that your mind jumps through to justify your own actions.
I don't need to justify my actions. I know what I did. I did that mostly because I was mad and...
Yeah, and
he was going to die anyway.
You just said it. You think that they were justified because he was going to die anyways. When that just is absurd. Completely untrue. Making your actions completely unjustified, except in your own mind.
I haven't seen any of those squatters fire area lately.
Yeah, because I forced them out.
And they just traveled far away?
Yes, Ziminyar, not everything is just poof up in flames. Just because you think that everyone is as evil as you doesn't make it so.
Ziminyar insights.
I get advantage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. Oh, hey, take that.
Oh. Well, I'll let it go for now. Anyways,
It really doesn't matter what you believe. The truth is the truth, and no amount of your delusion is going to change that.
so Miniart has already stopped listening. It's turned to Winslow again.
Another fight squarely won by Miles.
So Miniart swallows the fact that he knows that's true. Um. So how did you gain your freedom, if you don't mind my asking? I mean, when we initially met, we were in a world where that just wasn't normally the case, and you even worked at the royal palace. How the hell did that happen?
I suppose I just got lucky.
Could you be
Is
more
that
specific?
really it?
Yes.
Huh. Well,
Surely there must be more to it, Winslow.
Not as far as I know.
Were you born into slavery? And what do you mean not as far as you know? Did you also forget, just like Ziminia?
No. As far as I know, I don't know what happened to anybody else, so I'm kind of the only one to my knowledge that was able to be free at the time.
But like, were you born that way, or did you escape captivity?
No, I was not born this way.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you have to struggle for freedom against some oppressive uh, establishment, or did you earn it? Was it violent?
did it try to eat you, so you killed it?
What was the methodology here?
I did what needed to be done.
But more specifically.
No.
Yes.
You can do it. Seriously, who's gonna judge you? We both know that.
You're
Never
free
mind.
now.
But
as of my own.
Alright. I guess the truth may never come to light then. I'm going to bed.
I am too. I use some leaves because I'm bad at this. Apparently.
All right, so you all go to sleep. No one's taking shifts or anything? You just all going to bed at the same time?
I'll take the first shift.
Obviously, we have to have shifts. I mean, there are creatures in this desert that are quite dangerous.
Yep. Can you roll perception for me, Miniar, since you're taking first watch?
Yup. Oh fuck.
Alrighty. To your knowledge, nothing shows up.
I guess I'll take second watch.
Alrighty. Miles, you're lucky to when, you just get on the watch. You notice a snake had crawled into camp and was weaseling towards Winslow. I'm assuming you grab it?
Yes, and I strike it down with one of my knives. I have a whole bunch.
Yeah.
How
Kind
kind.
of got a whole chef's block of knives on you.
Actually, you know what? I used a special one that I hadn't used for a while that I had been trying to enchant for some time now.
Okay. You do not see anything happen.
Very well. Well, at least it's dead now.
Yep. And now it's morning. Do.
Wow. Winslow didn't
It
even have to.
is. Yep.
I got to
Winslow.
sleep.
I figured 4 and 4, unless you guys are wanting to go shorter.
No, I guess that's fine.
Well, Winslow, you can also roll a perception check, because maybe Miles does lay down for a little bit while one of you cooks breakfast. You
Wow.
don't see anything. So unfortunate. And Harbo even woke up right in the morning in the nick of time.
We should have
When
made
all
Harbo
of you-
stand watch.
Truly, he slept all day, literally the whole day and all night in a sleepy sack.
Leave me
And wakes up.
alone. I'm tired.
Are you sick?
No.
You've been sleeping a lot. Ever since that Clara lady. Even a little before that.
Look, I don't know. It might be a side effect. I couldn't really get anywhere with Hamlet. You know how it is.
Oh, Claudia, not Clara. What side effects, sorry?
Seeing stuff, I guess.
What stuff have you been seeing?
What stuff have you been seeing?
Oh, assuming your stupidity?
That just
I
means you have eyes.
So,
Yes.
Hey, hey,
Harbo's doing it too now.
Turbo. Oh, cool. Who do you think carried you all the way?
Look, I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna lie, Zaminiar. Sometimes you don't do things that are very smart. And you can't deny that.
No, no, I can't. Like, Kylie, no. Can you hear him?
No. But
Okay, good.
you all wake up and continue your journey to the catacomb. You all make survival checks for me, or nature checks, I guess, more so.
I get a +1 to those now.
Are we in the mountains? Because I get advantage.
Remember what it's from.
Uh,
Oh yeah, it was because I spent that time with
Yeah.
Haribo.
We'll say
Yeah.
that we're getting to the mountains.
I taught you
guys fell
nature, you
asleep
taught me
right
maths.
before the kind of mountainous ravine area.
Oh good, yes, I believe I have advantage on those.
Yeah.
Herbo has quite the advantage on them.
Yep. So you all continue after breakfast and waking up and having a good night talking around the campfire about each other and each
Harley.
other's traumas. And
It was a beach episode.
you all arrive in the catacombs. You find the entrance and you all walk in. Dun, 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 dun. And you all entered in down yonder.
Oh, it's proficiency, not advantage. I get proficiency. Shoot. Well, too late now.
And you all walk down a pretty long and kind of windy staircase. And Winslow, as you're looking at the stonework, I'll just say passively, you kind of look around and you're like, solid stonework. And you can't fully pinpoint the family or era, but you know it's old. You know it's pretty old. And you all walk in and you see dark, drippy kind of stonework about. You see some tables and whatnot. You can investigate further if you would like. But you all get on in here.
Well, might as well start looking around.
Yep, so if you guys want to roll investigations or anything of that nature.
Whee!
Woo!
Right.
Oh.
Ooh, Miles, I could say now you don't find much.
Very good. I've found enough.
Yep. Truly.
Boop, boop. Hairbrow's still a little groggy from his nap.
Yep. Well, Winslow, you find immediately, you walk up and something just like, I don't want to say spiritually pulls you here, but something gives you a sign that you need to walk over to this desk. And on this desk, you see, maybe it's because it popped out so much, there's this piece of paper that's kind of brown, but still just looks clean in comparison to everything else, as it has no dust on it. And you look at it, and it's just a bunch of scribbles on the page, but you could tell it stands out.
Can I tell if it's like another language or is it just like actually scribbles?
It's just actually scribbles.
Okay.
Haribo drew on the walls.
N- Yep. As for the rest of you, you don't find anything of interest.
Damn.
Time to move on.
Even after the 17th? Shit.
Correct?
Haribo is
Do another
gonna
one.
do a perception check.
Okay.
Oh,
I
and
You don't see much because of the darkness, but you can definitely tell this looks ceremonial.
too am looking around, both the ceremony and signs of Solomon.
Wait,
Yeah.
who was that to? Who'd you say that to? The
Hmm?
ceremony stuff.
me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I do another
Um,
investigate in that room. I also rolled a 17
All
straight up
right.
again.
Yep. So in that room, Zeminiar, you see. Could you? No. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception? Let me check.
Yeah.
Passive perception is 13.
All right. Yeah. So you clearly see this, and I'm gonna take that investigation roll for something else. You walk into this room and you open the door. And it creaks, and dust kind of puffs, and you see bones kind of laid out in a very peculiar way in this room. And as you walk up to investigate them, because you notice it seems like they're almost laid out purposefully, you get a pretty close look on them, and you see some of them have words etched in on them. So, to write down these words, you see one that says this, one that says,
Are they in any particular language?
they're in common.
Okay.
Mhm. Oop.
Haribo is going to take a minute to remember back to the very first episode where
Yeah,
he had to find the answer under the table. And he's going to investigate under the table.
that was very smart of him. Sorry, I'm just reworking something. One moment, please. Do, 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 do. Mm, mm.
DM is typing. The DM
Yeah.
is typing. And now she's not. The DM is typing.
Oh.
And now the DM.
I'm having to click back
It's-
and forth a bunch.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm
You're good. I just
sorry,
wanted
'cause
to
I
do it. I'm like,
realized I got myself mixed up on my own things, and I was like, "Why is this here?" And then I was like, "Ah, that's right." So you find about 10 bones that have words scratched on them, and those are the 10 words that are on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wait,
7,
Haribo
8,
found
9,
them
10.
or
No,
Zaminiar
Zaminiar
found them?
did. Zaminiar did. I'm still on Zaminiar stuff. Y'all were wandering around while I was still doing that. So Zaminiar finds this room. Like a bunch of bones are laid about. 10 of them very peculiarly have some words scribbled on them, and he sees those words on them. So, moving on, he finds those. Miles then also wanted to investigate the whole room ceremoniously, and he rolled a persuasion check. You can't persuade the room. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, let me
he
roll
just looked at the
again.
line.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
believe me this time.
Yeah.
You can't persuade
maybe.
the room to tell it its secrets.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe better would be if I performed for the room.
I mean, why not?
So, from there, with a 9, you kind of gleaned the same information that Haribo did. Is you can see there's some ceremonial stuff looking in this room, but you don't know exactly for what as of yet. Haribo, in this room, all the way down to here, and you immediately looked under the table, correct?
Correct.
All right. Under this table, I will say, are you looking specifically under the table, or are you also looking at the chairs and everything else, or just the table specifically?
Under the table, but while he's under the table, if there's anything suspicious on the chairs, he's gonna look there too.
Yeah, so as you crawl under on like all fours and you kind of like tip tap around, flip flap your feetsies, you find underneath one of the cushions of the chair, you see something sticking out and you pull it out and it is a scribbled page.
Oh,
Yep. And that's all you find under that table.
Haribo just kind of sits down on the ground and he's looking at the page and he's trying to study it as best he can.
It definitely scribbly looking.
He still can't read very well.
Yep.
Hmm.
All right. Winslow. I don't see any rolls for you, but it seems like you're walking into that room.
I was waiting.
Okay. Yeah.
So I take a look around this room, or attempt to.
Yeah. Most certainly. So you walk into this room and you walk in and you see a table in the center of the room and it's covered in blood stains, but nothing fresh from what you can tell. And 4 straps are attached to this table. You see another table in the corner, and looking on it, you see some. You can't really tell what the equipment's for or used, but it looks very similar to medical stuff that you've seen in the past or around. But other than that, you don't find anything that piques your interest. Back to the top of the round, I guess, to Zaminiar.
I'll take his turn.
back to the top of the round with
No,
Miles.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm cleaning. I am cleaning up one of my cat's shame.
Oh,
So yeah, I was on mute for a second there.
was it Lego?
No, surprisingly, not Lego this time.
So, are you still figuring out the bone situation and looking at it some more?
I am going to do a religion check to see if I can figure out what's going on here.
Fair.
That is not how I get my Lord. I don't know shit about dick.
Nope. You do not. Miles. Well, actually, I think it's Harbo next, but we'll go to Miles.
I believe
Yeah.
it's Miles.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm kind of a ritual enthusiast myself. Perhaps I could also incite the purpose, or maybe religion cite the purpose of this. Insight would not be worse here. The purpose of this ritual here.
Are you still standing in the doorway?
I walked in a little bit of a ways. Is this
Okay.
helpful?
Well, inciting the room?
The purpose of the ritual, perhaps?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, right now you don't see anything that
Oh.
looks...
I thought
fully
you mentioned
ritualistic.
earlier that I saw
Yeah.
sites of...
I'm now looking and your sights cannot see it,
Oh,
so
okay.
I kind of
Well,
spoiled
in that
it.
case...
Yeah.
I
Say
was
walk closer to, like,
deceived.
here.
Yeah, alright then.
Like, let's say you wandered into this room some more. There you go.
Alright.
Wandering in a bit further. And you do see some pews, it looks like, and as you walk up towards the pews, you do see... Thought this was working. Is he not working? That's... I make him work. There you go.
A torch.
And as you walk past that wall almost, you see a torch light up.
Oh. Well, I didn't get to do that.
Oops. What a shame. And you notice then you see the table. Do you want to go investigate it?
I'll save it for later.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, we had a plan on how to approach this situation, so I'm gonna actually step back and wait for Zaminyar.
All right. Harbo.
Haribo first would like to, as he's studying the scribbles, he would like to do an Arcana check on it.
Okay. Go for it.
Boop. Oh.
You sense nothing.
Okay. Seeing nothing, Haribo gets up and decides to climb on top of the table
All right.
and investigate the table.
All right. Go for it.
Okay.
You find nothing of interest on top of the table.
Okay. So at this point, Haribo swings his legs around and he's sitting on the table, and Miles is fairly close to him. Hey, Miles, I found this paper with a scribble on it. What does it mean?
I take a look at the paper. This does not appear to be written in any real language that I'm familiar with. Did you write this yourself?
No, I found it under the cushion on the chair.
Huh. Well,
I like how he's insulted by the idea of him being literate.
we'll keep practicing, Harbo. It's still important for you to learn your letters.
Haribo tries so hard.
I hand Haribo back his paper.
Huh. Well. What are you doing? Haribo hops down.
Well, we made a plan with Zaminyar on how to approach Salomon-based situations, so I'm waiting for him to show up.
Oh, well. I suppose that's fair. And Haribo just walks forward.
Haribo, come back here for a second.
Hang on, I want to look at this. There's
Haribo, come back here for a second. We had a plan.
She
What?
doesn't know the plan.
We have to wait for Ziminyar.
Why?
Because it's very important that Ziminyar approaches that pedestal first.
Why?
Because
What if he's just over there listening to you two?
maybe.
I don't get it. But if you insist, and
I do
Haribo
insist.
goes and attempts to find Ziminyar. I don't remember which way he went. And Haribo just kind of paces between the two rooms. Left side, strong side.
Winslow, did you find anything?
Well, I heard you and Haribo talking about a paper with scribbles, and I had also found one.
Oh, I see. Show me yours.
So I found it up front at this desk in the corner.
Was it just one paper, or?
Yes, just the one.
Okay, wow. Very interesting. Are there page numbers or anything on them?
I don't believe so, just the scribbles.
Very good.
But it was the only thing seemingly out of place.
Just the scribbles?
Just scribbles.
Huh.
Alright. Let's stay here for a while we wait for Ziminyar to approach the altar.
But what if Haribo grows impatient?
Well, he doesn't. Maybe we can stall him out while we tell him the plan.
Okay.
Oh, Haribo.
Haribo's away.
Oh, Haribo.
He's looking for Ziminyar.
I'm also waiting for Ziminyar.
But Haribo went in a different room.
Yeah, but I'm sure this place echoes real bad.
Okay, fine. Hang on, I'm looking for Ziminyar.
Haven't you found him yet? We've only been in like 3 rooms.
Yeah, but you guys were talking, so that's my cue to stop moving.
Good.
Hey, Ziminyar. Ah, what's this?
Hello, and a lot.
Oh.
A lot.
Oh.
And also there's writing on it.
Oh, should we go see it?
Writing?
Yeah, there's writing in the bones.
Winslow, let's go
Is
look.
it more scribbles?
Some of it actually has words. Yeah, not
Winslow,
scribbles.
come here, Winslow. Let's go look.
What did they say?
Hold on, I have to scroll in my memory. They say, best follow the fourth answer. And that's all. Everything else is scribbled.
So we followed the scribbles?
Maybe. But probably not. But look, man, last time we had to look under a basement, so maybe. Under a table, not a basement. Wow.
I looked under a table and I found this scribble. And Haribo shows Ziminyar the scribble.
Is it legible?
It's a scribble, according to Miles.
DM, is it legible to Ziminyar?
I don't know. Maybe you can make a check and see.
Oh wait, we could make checks? I didn't realize. I just assumed they were scribbles.
Ha!
That's what they are. They are just scribbles.
Maybe Zaminiar can read scribbles.
Zaminior, are these
Can you
bones?
tell me where you found this?
He's fluent in scribbles. I found this under a cushion on the chairs by the table. I learned lesson after our, Sonny died.
Why is everyone here?
I
Also,
don't know.
We
I
were
came
waiting
looking for you.
why is everyone looking for me?
It's very hard to hear.
Miles said something about waiting for you to go up to this altar. He told me I can't go there until you go there. So I wanted to find you so I could go to the altar.
Okay.
It made no sense to me either.
I look at Miles and say, I assume this means you found him?
No, we haven't, but just in case, you should go first.
Fair enough. Let's go. Oh, wait,
Well,
hold
hold
on. Do you know anything about the scribble bones over here?
Yeah, are these actual scribbles or does it say scribbles?
No, there's words, and you can scroll up to see, but what the video really says is, yeah,
You can
check it
scroll
out. Right
into
here.
Miniar's mind to see.
The words that say scribbles, are they actual scribbles or
Yeah.
do they say scribbles?
No, it says scribbles.
Okay. And are these in order or did you move them around?
That's the order he found them in.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, this is just the order that I found them in. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't rearrange them, and until now did not know that they actually said scribbles.
Stunning. Are there any others around?
Nope, just those 10.
Wow.
So
maybe
you're telling
they're-
me I was right and we're supposed to follow the scribble?
That's not necessarily correct. Maybe it's always best for the answer if you knew the scribble. Signed scribbles.
What?
You just have to rearrange the words. Scribbles is capitalized and follow is capitalized, so follow starts the first sentence, and scribbles is who wrote these messages.
Wait,
And
Hang
best
on.
is the last word.
hang on. Are they talking to me?
Maybe. Are you scribbles?
Well, I'm just remembering the one time you told me to give my name, and I didn't, and so you guys called me Scribbles.
Oh, that's a good point.
I am terrified
Maybe
that
this
that might
is-
be the actual thing that we have to follow here.
Is this someone we've met before?
Who was
I
the
mean,
one
it
that we
wouldn't
signed
surprise me if it were fromage or something. He seems to pop up everywhere, and Hamlet knows everything, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was something stupid like that. And Haribo just walks away.
Is
I'm
Haribo
going to the altar.
maybe getting a little too much time with me? Because he seems battle ready. So many are follows.
Alrighty. So you guys walk up to the altar table?
Yep. $10 says we go back in time. Again.
I'll just wait here.
Somehow. Haribo, you should probably actually hang back.
Hey.
Well, you know what? Never mind. Let's ride this out together.
I'm waiting in the corner.
Why do you
No,
want
you're
me to
supposed
hold
to.
back?
For your safety.
Oh, you see, we have this kind of plan just in case there's sleeping gas again or something.
Oh, you just don't want me to fall asleep again? That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I mean, you've been sleeping for like freaking I think you got like 50 hours of sleep in 2 days, dude. I don't know how you
Look,
did
man,
that.
I'm a hobbit. We do that sometimes. It's
Oh, you
pretty
guys
normal.
ate.
What?
You just ate a lot.
Look, it's a little of both.
That's fair. Do we see anything as we're walking up?
You see some rooms on the side, but do you want to investigate that table?
Yes.
Haribo's looking around at everything while he's walking up.
Fantastic.
Oof.
Wow. So,
Oh, Haribo.
Haribo, I will say you see it. You don't know what it says, and maybe you point it out to Zeminiar, because you see on the large stone kind of table there, it's more of just like a raised, like, half pillar. But you see something etched in that looks like words, and you're like, I recognize that this is words. Don't know what the hell it says, but they words. And when you show it to Zeminiar, you're able to then have him read it for you. And it says, 9 times I have tried, 9 times it is split. Truly hope I can get this all to fit.
Mm.
Was that slit or split?
Split.
Lit.
Split? Like banana split?
Okay. Okay, that's what I thought you said, but I also thought you said slit at first, and I'm like, oh. And then I heard lit, and I'm like, oh, it's lit, fam. Okay. Huh.
I have no idea what this means.
Can you copy paste it in the chat?
Maybe it has something to do. Because I'm assuming the torch is pretty prominent on the altar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it has something to do with this torch.
Do we have to split people in half?
Huh.
I don't like. I like how you're. I like how. I like the silence here. 9 times. 9 times I have tried. 9 times it has split. Surely hope I can get all to fit.
Are the bones supposed to fit on the altar, maybe? In a soup
Probably.
pot?
Well, when you look on this a bit further, you turn around, you guys see a giant table as depicted behind you. And you notice in the center of this table, I'll just say it's pretty obvious while you all are walking around, you see a big kind of like rectangular size like in bed. And it looks like as like a sheet of paper belongs there. Or so.
Haribo puts down his scribble.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I don't like that response.
I don't either.
It's okay. I'm safe.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Miles.
No. So you put down your piece of paper
My scribble.
on there. I'm pretty sure all those. Yep. And looking down, you put your piece of paper down onto the in-bed, and you've added it to the collection.
What?
Of your guys' next puzzle.
Well,
In 2 weeks! Well, actually, in a week. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. There we go. I was like, I know the sense of time. Because we ran a little late, because we started hideously late. So, to start the next fun arc of riddles and exploring, you should follow us on this channel on Twitch and all of our social medias. I would recommend joining the Discord as well, because I may or may not be working on a bunch of art. You should also, if you want to follow up on everything else we've done and VODs and whatnot, go to the YouTube channel. They're both linked. Go enjoy them. I'm going to bed. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oodles.